My niece looked me dead in the eye and said, "People like you have no place at our table." And the whole family laughed. Not awkward chuckles. Not nervous, uncomfortable shifting. They laughed like it was funny. Like it was true. For 3 years, I've been paying my sister's rent. 3 years of $2,000 a month, sometimes more when unexpected expenses came up. Groceries. Utilities. Her car payment when it got repossession notices. My niece's SAT prep classes. Her summer debate camp. Her laptop for school. College application fees. When her husband walked out and left her drowning in debt, I stepped in without hesitation. I didn't ask questions. I didn't demand repayment plans. I didn't make her beg. Because that's what family does. Or at least, that's what I believed. My son is 7. He's bright, sensitive, and obsessed with dinosaurs. He still climbs into my bed on stormy nights and whispers, "Mom, I don't like the thunder." He's mixed race. His dad and I split when he was a baby, but we co-parent peacefully. No drama. Just 2 adults trying to do right by our child. 2 years ago, I met someone new. Kind. Steady. Patient. He treats my son like his own. We're engaged now. My family has always smiled at him. But the smiles never reached their eyes. Little comments would slip out like cracks in a wall. My mom once said, "He's going to have a harder life." I asked what she meant. She shrugged. "You know what I mean." I did. But I ignored it. Because I thought love, and money, could smooth over ugly things. Last Sunday was my mom's birthday dinner. At my sister's apartment. The apartment I've been paying for. We showed up on time. My son in a little button-down shirt. My fiancé carrying flowers for my mom. I'd even brought a cake. My nephew opened the door. He looked at my son first. Not at me. At my son. And something flickered across his face. Disgust? Annoyance? I don't know. He didn't say hello. Just stepped aside. The dining room was packed. Everyone already seated. My sister. Her 3 kids. My mom. 2 aunts. My cousin and her husband. Exactly enough chairs. No extras. My sister saw us and her smile twitched. "Oh. You brought them." Them. Not you all. Not, "I'm so glad you're here." Them. "You said family dinner," I replied. She hesitated. I meant, well. It's fine. But she didn't stand up. Didn't offer chairs. Didn't rearrange anything. My cousin's husband subtly pulled his chair closer to the table, like space was limited and precious and we were an inconvenience. My fiancé leaned close and whispered, "We can go." But something stubborn rose up in me. No. I wasn't going to let them erase us. I walked into the kitchen. Found 2 folding chairs leaning against the wall. Carried them back myself. Opened them with loud, deliberate snaps. Squeezed them into the already tight table. My son ended up next to my niece. 17 years old. The girl whose phone bill I pay. The girl whose college dreams I've financed. She looked at him like he'd tracked mud onto white carpet. Dinner was suffocating. Conversations floated around us like we were ghosts. My mom asked my nephew about his college applications. My aunt asked my cousin about her promotion. My sister talked about rising grocery prices. No one asked my son about school. No one asked my fiancé about work. No one looked at us unless it was by accident. My son sat quietly, hands in his lap, trying to be small. 40 minutes of invisibility. Then my niece's phone rang. She answered it at the table. "Yeah, I'm stuck at this dinner thing." She rolled her eyes. Pause. "I know. It's so awkward. She was staring straight at my son. My sister cleared her throat. Honey, maybe take that in your room? My niece stood. As she walked behind my son's chair, she leaned down. Close enough that her hair brushed his shoulder. And she whispered, loud enough for me to hear. People like you have no place at our table. My son froze. His shoulders tightened. He didn't understand every word. But he understood enough. He looked down at his plate. And the room. The room erupted. My nephew snorted. One aunt let out a sharp laugh. My mom covered her mouth, but her shoulders were shaking. My sister stared at her plate with a smile she couldn't quite hide. I felt something inside me go completely still. No shouting. No tears. Just cold. I stood up. Took my son's hand. My fiancé was already on his feet, jaw locked tight. We're leaving, I said. My sister looked irritated. Oh, come on. Don't be so sensitive. She's 17. 17. Old enough to know exactly what she meant. I didn't argue. We walked out. In the car, my son stared out the window. Can we get ice cream? He asked softly. His voice cracked on the word cream. And I wanted to drive back there and flip that table over. Shatter every plate. Make them feel even a fraction of what he felt. But I didn't. We got ice cream. He ate in silence. I memorized his face so I would never forget why this mattered. That evening, my phone buzzed. A text from my sister. You're still sending money, right? Rent's due on the 3rd. No apology. No mention of what happened. Just logistics. I stared at that message for a long time. 3 years of checks. 3 years of sacrifice. 3 years of defending them when people asked why I was still helping. I looked at my son curled on the couch, quieter than usual. Then I typed. People like me don't help. And I blocked her. The fallout was immediate. My mom called 6 times. My nephew sent a long message about how I was abandoning family over a joke. My cousin said I was dramatic. My aunt said I should be the mature one. Not one person said, "We're sorry." Not one person said, "That was wrong." By Tuesday, my sister was calling from different numbers. Voicemails shifted tone. First angry. You can't do this. I have bills. Then bargaining. I'll make her apologize. Then crying. We're going to get evicted. You're really going to let your niece and nephews be homeless? Funny how I was family again when rent was due. My mom showed up at my house yesterday. She didn't ask how my son was. Didn't mention the dinner. She stood on my porch and said, "You're being cruel. You're punishing children." She called my son a racial slur, I said evenly. She didn't say that word. She didn't have to. You all knew what she meant. My mom's face hardened. You're choosing him over your own blood. I felt something click into place. Yes, I said. I closed the door. This morning, my sister sent a copy of her eviction notice. It's real. They have until the end of the month. My nephew posted on Facebook about how I'm letting them suffer because I can't take a joke. 40 people liked it. People who've eaten at my table. People who've called me generous. Now I'm heartless. Maybe they're right about one thing. I am choosing. I'm choosing the little boy who asked for ice cream instead of asking why his own family doesn't want him. I'm choosing the child who did nothing wrong. I'm choosing to make sure he never again sits at a table where he's treated like he doesn't belong. And every time doubt creeps in, every time I picture that eviction notice, I see his face at that dinner table. Small. Still. Trying not to cry. And I remember. If I keep paying, I'm teaching him that love means tolerating humiliation. That family can hurt you and still deserve your protection. That silence is easier than standing up. No. People like me may not have a place at their table. But they will never have a place at mine again.